Welcome back, bourbon fans, and welcome to any new viewers as well. I'm Tim, the Suburban Dad, helping dads find great bourbon. I like trying new things and exploring a little bit, especially when it comes to bourbon whiskey. I'm going to try something new for you guys today, give you my thoughts on it. It's a new bottle, but it's not a new thing for me. So this is Yellowstone's American Single Malt. I've become a big fan of American Single Malt. This is a new release from them, first time that they put out a single malt, and this is becoming a growing trend in the whiskey community, putting out a single malt. So enough chatting, let's get to it. Yellowstone's American Single Malt. So, some bottle stats. This is 4 years old. It's 108 proof, and it is made of 100% malted barley. So malted is when it's just starting to sprout, and they use that for the mash bill instead of just purely dried. Now this one retails around 60, 70 bucks, somewhere in there, depending on where you're at. I've seen it locally several times now. It's definitely not common, but it's not super rare. So if you're on the lookout and your state gets decently good whiskey selections, there's a good chance you'll come across it. Typically, single malts have more of a fruity palate to them. They tend to be a little bit lighter, so sweet, fruity, light, compared to bourbons, which can be more rich and complex. So this one, very light, honey colored, more like apple juice colored, which color doesn't bother me too much, but let's have a sniff here. So on the nose, it is definitely fruity and sweet smelling. A little bit floral as well. So I'm having a hard time picking out exactly which fruits or floral notes that I'm smelling. Apple, pear, white grape a little bit maybe. I'm really not good with flowers, so when I say floral, that's about as specific as I'm going to be. Overall, nose right away, fruity, sweet, a little bit floral, light, bright on the palate. Okay. So right away, 108 proof. This is kind of in my wheelhouse. I usually thrive in the 110 plus proof range, but 100 plus is really good. This is on the higher side for a single malt. Honestly, usually they're in the 90s-ish or 80s, unless they're cask strength. So 108 is kind of an oddball proof for it. On the palate, you do get those bright, fruity, somewhat sweet notes. Honey, there's definitely some honey notes in there. But man, this single malt is a little different than any other American single malt that I've had, in that it's a very grain-forward tone to it. So I like the fruit and the sweet aspect of it. It's got just a little dash of spice in there, baking spice. But nothing, I mean, it's not a spicy whiskey at all. It does pretty well. I would say, honestly, the proof might be a little much, honestly. Not for my preference, but to bring out the flavor. So let's test something here. You know, science. All right, so a little drop of water, try and open it up a little bit more. Because I do like the fruit, same kind of notes carry over, the apple-ish, pear-ish kind of stuff. But I really don't like that grain-forward note. So this now smells more leafy. That's interesting. Like grape leaves, like fresh grape leaves. That is such a specific thing. I always make fun of these companies who give ultra specific notes, but that's exactly what I get. What have I become? Okay, now let's taste it again. Okay, it amplifies the richness of the whiskey, which it is. It's rich, but it doesn't do much else. It doesn't really change the flavor profile, really. It might make it a tad more grainy, like cereal grains, which it's not really what I'm going for in a whiskey. Now, again, this one is 60 to 70 bucks. This one's put out by Limestone Branch Distillery. They're the ones who make Yellowstone. You might think Yellowstone's the brand, which it kind of is, but it's actually coming from Limestone Branch Distillery. Stephen B. Beam is the master distiller there. He is roughly related to the Beams of Jim Beam. Not roughly, it is some way. I actually met Stephen at a tasting event. He was a super nice guy. It was very fun. And I asked him how he's related to Fred and Freddie No, and it was he wasn't even sure on the spot. Now, granted, he had had a few sips of whiskey already by that point, so his memory might have been a little foggy, but it was some number of cousins apart relationship, even though their last names are the same. So, I love all the store picks that I've had, single barrel picks that I've had of Yellowstone. The standard 93 proof is okay. This one, it's not worth it for the price. I'll say that. Having tasted it, would I buy it again? Really, no. I hate to be tough on a whiskey, especially from a brand that I like, but this one is a no-go, guys. Again, I could come back to this and enjoy a glass here and there, but it's definitely not one that I think, oh my gosh, I really want to have some more of that green flavored whiskey. So there you go, guys. Usually I try and be upbeat and positive. Hey, this one isn't so great. But reality is not all of them are winners. And also the Jack Daniel's single malt was not phenomenal. It was way too heavily aged in the sherry cask. So these companies that are trying to do more, they're trying to start with American single malts, kind of wish they wouldn't, honestly. Companies like Balcones, you guys know Balcones, or you should by now, they are awesome at American single malt. I will try any of their American single malts any day of the week. Their stuff is fantastic. Yellowstone, go back to the drawing board, a little green forward for my preference. So let me know what you guys think. Have you tried Yellowstone, the single malt? Have you tried American single malt at all? What do you think? Tell me about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. It'd be so much appreciated. Until next time, cheers.